To some extent, yes. There are some government establishments that have not been managed very well. And to that I would say yes. Those ones have to be sold to private individuals to manage them. If you give them such opportunity, they will still manage those things as if personally it is their own. So to some extent I say yes, some of these government establishments are supposed to be, given out. But something like airways, you see me? No, the government is supposed to manage it. Look at Ethiopia. Look at some airlines of certain countries. It is being owned by the government, and they are doing perfectly well. They are generating revenue.
It has been done by the past administration. We saw what they did. Nitel, they sold it. Where is Nitel? Where is the proceeds of the sales? For goodness sake, who is deceiving who? The person who is championing or deceiving the Nigerian populace now, that is going to privatize even our NNPC, was the very person who was the chairman of National Council on Privatization, who sold Nitel to his cronies. Up till today, they lay off all the workers. They did not settle them. Most of them have died because of frustration. We are, as far as I'm concerned, that is the last thing that I will support.
If I just tell you, yes, I will vote for a plan, I should be able to tell you that what is the brain behind the plan? What do the government intend to achieve via this plan? Is their intention just to sell this public establishment to themselves in disguise, or they really mean well for the economy, or they really or their intention is for them to sell this government establishment and improve the Nigerian economy, or for other selfish interests?
I think it will be a very good thing, because I think the selling up of the NEPA, I think a little we are having lights, we are experiencing it a bit, if it's not that much. And you see, when we first experienced a telephone in this country, we bought SIM then about 100,000 naira. You bought SIM 50,000 naira, but now that there is a competition, you see, we can buy SIM 100 naira. We can even buy SIM 50 naira. Why? Because they privatize it. So I don't see that as a problem. I also see that as the government should be more coordinative, should work more on who they are going to privatize this on.
Well, on that note, I would like to say something here about privatization. Over time, while in school, they taught about Nigerian system of economy. And every time we're being told that Nigeria operates a mixed economy. Where do we operate a mixed economy and they're successful? Mixed economy for me is a country that does not even know what they want. Are you operating a socialist economy or a capitalist economy? What are we scared of? We have to take a stand. What is Venezuela's system of government or economic system? What is Singaporean economic system? The American we so look up to, what is their system of economy? So why would we always want a mixed system? That's my own issue. I don't want to be outright about, okay, capitalization. What system of economy are we interested in operating? We cannot just be playing this mixed thing every time. We have to take a stand. Are we a socialist economy or a capitalist economy? And of course, if you answer that question, you will know where we want to take our economy to. Yeah.
It sounds laudable, but under this government, it will be a fraud. Under this APC Buhari government, it will be a fraud. Every other government, it's okay. Best handled by individuals. Example, Donald Trump. Businessmen knows how to handle establishments. Do you understand? There will be that attachment to productivity. But under this government, let's talk about the other things.
There is nothing vote buying. How do you call that vote buying? Helping the indigenous population to at least sustain themselves with 10,000 loan, free loan that is refundable. You call it vote buying. How? How does that translate into vote buying? This is the policy of the government to help the poorest of the poor, at least to felt that there is government. Simple.
I think my honest opinion is that I will ask a question. Why is the loan coming now? Why is it that it's now that the election is in process that are bringing up this loan? This loan should have been something that has to come for a long time. This is the force. It's a force like you know that the masses need help. Yes. You know that there is no other way for them to make it. You just like selling out their vote for you. That is what the federal government are trying to do us, because we don't have choice.
Every good thing is good. When you give out free things to people, as long as it's free, it's wonderful. You can go about organizing parties and sharing money. It's a good thing to collect money. But what I would like to ask, is it sustainable? What we do when we create systems, when we do things, those things we do, can subsequent government take it up? Sharing money, giving out, say it's free loan, and that's what we call it. Is that system sustainable? What I fear is the sustainability of that system. That's just my own take about it. I'm not saying it's not good, but if it is not sustainable, then it's not worth it.
In as much as the 10,000 naira fund is a form of empowerment, to me it's a form of empowerment, but it's not a good economic policy. It's form of empowerment, but on the contrary, I can also call it a form of vote buying, because I see no reason why Nigeria should be one of the most indebted states in the world, or one of the most the number one state housing the poverty number of persons. Then we are now borrowing money. We say we don't have money. We are borrowing money instead of putting the money in the Nigerian economy to improve the economic sector. Then we are now sharing. I call it sharing. We are now sharing the money, 10,000 naira to people. It's not a good economic policy at all to me. And I see it as a form of vote buying, seriously. But to those that are receiving it, they think it's a form of encouragement to them. But why some, when they are receiving it, they will tell you, guy, I've received this money, but this is the brain behind this money. So that's it to me.
Let's not be deceived, my brother. It's just an inducement for their vote. We are not deceived. We are wiser. Understand? So APC can bring other format for their 419. It's not going to work with enlightened minds.
I prefer government building the roads because of our situation. The largest population in Nigeria are poor. I think that is the only thing that government can do to help reach the poor. Because when you talk of privatizing roads, if you privatize road to some of the remotest villages, how will you expect that somebody who cannot feed himself 2 times a day, collecting money from him in form of tax to pay back? I support government building the roads. Privatization should wait until we are ripe for that.
If I support a private sector to build roads, then I pay to move on the roads. What benefits ordinarily will I be benefiting from the government that I belongs to? That is one of the other questions. But just come to look at it from this angle. Those of us that are working in the government sector will pay tax. Then what is the essence of the tax? Some of the tax is meant to construct roads, to build hospitals, to build our educational sectors. And we still pay for the education. Then we pay for hospitality, we pay for the healthcare sector. Now if I'm now paying again for the roads I work about, It's not just idea. It's better the government build roads. If the government want to collect revenue on it by itself, perfect. But for private sector to build roads, then if I'm now applying the roads, I will not be paying. It's not, to me, it's not ideal in any way at all, because I pay tax. I pay tax to the government for them to provide me the basic amenities needed from them.
You see, the way I've been hearing government doing the road, the only experience I had government do the road was only in the last regime. And because we have somebody that was well coordinating, somebody that well planned, you know, he watch out on everything they are doing. But I think if they cannot do it, privatizing it will be a very good idea, because they did it before and we're able to see the roads that they did. The road, we have something like they call toll gates then, that you will be paying before you pass, and they are making use of the money. I'm using it to refurbish the road very fine. I think that will not be a problem. It's a very good idea.
And that takes me back to my earlier statement about capitalist system and socialist system. A socialist system, government will do everything, right? And sometimes we hear people say government have no business doing business. But we always see government doing business, and those businesses don't thrive. So what do we really want as a nation? In this confused state we are, we can never make progress. We have to define. Our laws, our system, whatever we do, must be definite. This is where Nigeria is headed. And until we do that, we're heading nowhere.
Then what should be government's work? If individuals do all that, what should the government be doing? Moving on escorts? Huh? If individuals build roads and do every other thing, then what's the work of government? To be moving on escort without taxpayers' money? Huh? Can I go?